It's another fun car video with me. Aren't you lucky? You really are. So this is going to be a general observation chatting about the world because certain things have annoyed me today, so I'm just going to talk about them. I may do these periodically. Spoiler alert, I will do these periodically, and if you don't like them or you don't agree, that's fine. I'm allowed to have opinions that you don't have or share. That's what's been a perfectly rounded adult is. We can still be friends, you can still be a viewer, subscriber, whatever, but if not, that's also fine. I'm not going to apologise for my views, my opinions to anybody else, because you know what, that's the world that we live in, and that's allowed. And if you don't like it, that's allowed as well. It's cool, everybody's happy about it. So I don't feel that as a professional I am unfair in any way, shape or form in my expectations of what and how my colleagues or my team behaves. I have expectations that are in line with those of the institution that I work for, and I've always had that with any previous employers. Whatever, you know, I feel that if you're being paid to do a job, you do that job. You don't complain about it. If you're being paid to do something with a specific skill set, that you have that skill set and you can perform that duty to a professional standard, especially if you're getting paid professional rates. I don't feel that that is an unreasonable expectation, and if you can't do that and somebody pulls you up on it or has a conversation about it or suggests that perhaps the level of performance that you're displaying isn't quite cognizant with the level of performance that is required for your post, that is not unreasonable. If you do feel that, then perhaps the world isn't for you, because that is how the world works. That is the professional environment, and that is why you put in effort to get to a certain position in life and enjoy the benefits of that position, like, I don't know, stability and a salary. That is one thing. So I don't feel that's unreasonable to expect of people, and some people may not agree with that, and I've been pulled up on it myself in certain roles in my past where then I've gone like, Christ, you might be right, I probably should do something about that. And you know what, I've gone away and I've done something about it. I've made myself better, I've upgraded my abilities, and I've cracked on, taken it on the chin, and then proceeded to reap said rewards and felt better as a person, as an individual, and as a professional. So that's one thing. I don't think that's unreasonable, do you? Let me know down in the comments. The second thing is cyclists. Bicycles. I don't hate you. In fact, I have a bicycle. I enjoy riding my bicycle. I do so at a reasonable level of proficiency. I cycle on the roads, public highways, and I utilise the cycle lanes where provided. Do you know what I don't utilise? The path. The path is for pedestrians walking on the path. Then don't get arsey with people if you bump into them on your bike on the path. That is not the pedestrian's fault. That is your fault. You should be on the road with the other vehicles, because your bike is in fact a vehicle. And especially if there are designated cycle lanes within 1 foot of you, if you're on the path, use it. I don't feel that that is an unreasonable expectation either. Do you? Is that unreasonable of me? I don't hate cyclists when I'm driving. I pass them, I indicate, I leave them plenty of space, much like I do if somebody is riding a horse on a public highway. Unless you've got fridges, freezers and other things on there, and you know, you're just riding around like it's some type of, I don't know, medieval England, and you're just like whipping your horse and you're on your little track thing and you're just razzing around on the road behaving like an idiot, then I do not appreciate that. I think you should not be on the road, and I don't want to share the highway with you, and my road tax should not be used for anything to do with those people. But normal folk on bicycles or horses where they need to be on a public highway, I have no problems with. I don't agree with people riding two abreast having a conversation in cycle lanes. That is irksome. But I don't pap my own or shout abuse at them. I act as a well-rounded individual that's been bred by this country through our education system and fantastic parenting on my parents' side to kind of bring me up in a manner that is befitting of a citizen of this great country. That's another thing. Yes, I've been quite irked today with those two specific things have annoyed me, and I had obviously I had an altercation with a gentleman this morning who was not in the cycle lane quite clearly and proceeded to knock my bag off my shoulder and have a bit of a rant at me for walking on the path. How dare I walk on the path in the morning at 6:30 a.m. going to the gym? How damn bloody dare I? Oh God, the insolence. I mean, I should not be doing it, should I? I should be put down now to get in his way on his bike as he's nonchalantly smoking his cigarette, probably on his way to a crack den or whatever it is he was doing at that time in the morning on the path, not paying attention. Oh, I should 100% be like put down because I inconvenienced him somewhat. Anyway, other than that, the day has progressed somewhat normally. I won't go into the details of my other whinging, whining observation of people. Also, those motor scooter things, that comes under the same principle of not being on the paths. They should just be like flat out banned or used on the road. I don't care if you use them on the road, just don't use them on the path. The path is for pedestrians, and that's it. I want to talk about something topical. This is going to be a longer video. I'm feeling in a talkative mood because I've done work stuff all day, and I've had like grown-up conversations where I've had to manage situations and like do plans and all of that such thing. So like everybody else, myself and my wife watched Baby Reindeer, and what a series that was, wasn't it indeed? Now, I've had some really interesting conversations outside of this, regardless of the subject matter. I think both of the people are completely off the trolleys. That woman is full on cray, and that Piers Morgan interview. I like Piers Morgan. I don't care whether you think I'm a dick for that or not. I think the guy is a cracking gentleman. You know what? I like Clarkson as well. I like how they interact with people and just say it how it is. Anyway, it's by the by. What I want to talk about is the actual series and the controversy around it, and specifically the wording that Netflix used, like based on a true story, or this is a true story, not based on a true story. The amount of marketing for free that they've got for the back of that because of the situation. Now, I don't necessarily agree with what they've done, and it reminds me of a couple of years ago with the Vauxhall situation where they didn't recall one of the cars because it was financially better. I think it was Vauxhall, financially more viable to pay the average cost of the lawsuit should somebody die because of the failure of whatever system it was. It may have been the parking brake, than it was to recall the entire line of cars and refit it. It feels like, and I have no evidence of this, so this is just me talking at you about this because it interests me. I have no evidence, like I say, that Netflix have deliberately made some questionable ethical decisions on how they would portray things, in that their duty of care around masking somebody's identity was deliberately avoided in a manner that, much like to use a gaming term, they used the rules as written, not as intended. So by the definition of what they were meant to do, they've done. However, it wasn't sufficient to stop that person being found, and some decisions were made so that that person was tracked down. I think that perhaps there was some premeditatory work done to establish the state of mind of the person that was portrayed, who may or may not be this person that is being interviewed, knowing that it would lead to some controversy and somebody somewhere would pick it up, one of the larger media outlets, in this case Piers Morgan, which would then artificially almost cause the series to go somewhat more viral than it would have done, increasing their revenue. Now, I don't agree with this morally or ethically, however, it's very clever. And am I against that in a world that is like the one that we live in? I don't know. It's like, I want to say it's a dark pattern. That's not the correct term, but as a more holistic term that describes what has been done there, regardless of what the subject matter of the series is and the people involved. I don't care about that. I'm not looking at that. I'm not discussing or debating that. That sort of marketing is interesting to me because it's manipulative. It plays on a lot of behavioural norms that have become ingrained in this online society that we're living in now, this reactionary society, this immediacy of having something there where it is at that moment in time the social zeitgeist, and you have to be involved in social conversations within your friendship group, within your online community, whatever it is, have to have had experience and watched it, consumed that media, whatever that media may be, in this case maybe reindeer, to be involved in that community, because we don't want to be socially ostracized in the conversation. So in that respect, what has happened here, whether it was Richard Gadd or whatever his name is intent, or whether it was a wider structured plan by the production team at Netflix to do this, it is very, very, very clever, and I would love to explore that a little bit more. If anybody's got any insights there around that sort of almost social engineering, I suppose is a term that we could apply to this in a marketing context. It is so obscenely decadent in what they've done, in that almost any repercussion coming from that is going to be a drop in the pond in terms of what they've made in revenue and awareness of that platform. And it almost opens the gate. I think this was discussed in the interview with this Fiona Harvey woman, the Piers Morgan one, that it almost opens the gate for her then to do a version of her side of events, which again brings more revenue to Netflix. I'm assuming that they would pick it up, or that's where you would want to show it, wouldn't you? You would cut a deal with this woman if they're looking at it in a just completely cold manner of making money, and that is wonderful. I don't want to come across as that kind of that person where I'm completely cold to this, but if I step aside from it and look at it empirically, this is brilliance. It is like next level brilliance, and I'm interested in where things like that can be utilised in society in a more wide context, because I believe that there is like that level of social manipulation happens via the government, not in a conspiratorial way, but media manipulates you every day. Nobody does their own fact checking, nobody qualifies anything. It's unfortunate that a lot of people don't care, and it's also equally unfortunate that a lot of people are incapable of understanding how they would fact check, qualify, confirm something themselves. So that level of manipulation I do believe happens, but this goes to show how it's like just there staring you in the face, and it's not really being talked about at all. The thing that we are talking about is misdirecting us. We're talking about this, so we're looking over here, and what's actually interesting is going on over there, and that excites me to talk about and to see that unfolding right now. It's still going on, and I think it's going to be in the social space for the next couple of weeks at least. I would love to see the viewing figures pre and post interview with him, and how that tails off, and revenue that's generated through that in terms of not only watch hours from and advertising revenue, what they're charging now for adverts to be shown at given points in that, depending on what tier you are on Netflix, and also like how that's offsetting the production cost of that. And so, oh yeah, yes, good, it's good. Right, I've gone on for like 15 minutes, so I'm just going to end it there. Right, I will speak to you tomorrow, and until then, be nice to each other. Don't manipulate each other in a subversive and confrontational way to do anything that you shouldn't be doing, you naughty, naughty people. Until tomorrow, see ya.